I'm Ronin Lin from Dezan Shira and Associates Shanghai office. Today we are going to talk about the taxes when doing business in China. First of all, I would like to introduce you the major taxes when you do business in China. The income taxes, the turnover taxes, and other major taxes you need to consider. And we will also talk about the statutory requirements of taxation for your reference. After that, I will introduce you the VAT refund, which is happening in China now. So the first part will be the introduction on the income taxes. First of all, the corporate income taxes in China. You will see the following tax rate and relevant information here. The normal tax rate is 25% based on your annual profit. And you will see a 20% tax rate and a 15% tax rate here under different conditions. The 20% tax rate is for the SMEs, which has a less than 30 million total assets and less than 100 staffs with a annual profit less than 300,000 RMB. The conditions for trading companies will be 10 million assets, less than 80 stars, and less than 300,000 RMB profit annually per year. So in these conditions, you will be defined as small-sized companies and you enjoy 20% income tax. And the third one, I think most of you would be interested because it's a 15% low tax rate for high-tech enterprises. This preferential tax rate is to encourage you to set up high-tech enterprises in China and benefit Chinese economy with those high technology you created and fostered in China. So you need to bear in mind that this high-tech certificate is not given but applied. The conditions on this high-tech certification is quite restricted and it only effect for 3 years. The reporting requirements for corporate income tax is first of all a quarterly tax filing and then an annual clearance after every fiscal year. So this is the general idea on the corporate income tax. And the second part is the individual income taxes, which all of you will be very interested in. The income tax rate for salary is between 3 to 7% based on monthly salary income. You should know that the company is responsible for calculating the tax for you. The company is also responsible to report, withhold, and pay this tax for you every month. Fail to report individual income tax for the employees will be regarded as in compliance with the law. So here is the example. A company signed the agreement with the employees, say, okay, I pay you the salary and you aware that this salary is a gross salary without tax, so you are responsible, which means the staff is responsible to report tax by their own. But in this case, this agreement is ineffective because, as I said, the company is responsible to report, to withhold and pay the tax for the employees. There's no way that you sign this contract and both sides would not pay the tax. So bear in mind that never do this when you do business in China. Individual income tax is reported every month, but there is a special requirement for those people who earn more than 120,000 RMB per year. So before the end of March, after every fiscal year, an individual should report his own individual tax to the tax authority. So in this case, most of the people don't know how to report this. It is recommended you can contact the professional firm and the professional accountants. They can help you on this. They can do the filing for you. They can submit the documents for you to the tax bureau. If you don't know how to do that, contact the accounting firm. They can help you. For those expatriates staying in China, there's a similar regulation like India. If you stay more than 183 days in China, then you would have to pay individual income tax based on the income derived from China. Bear in mind that all the incomes, not only the salary income paid from the company account, were deemed as taxable income. All the benefits you get from the company, such as the travel allowance, meal allowance, and any benefit you get from the company will be deemed as your salary income. So the bad example is don't pay your salary by cash, by reimbursements, or report lower IIT by use some unqualified agents. Try to be compliant and report all your salary income in a total package to the tax bureau in order to make sure you're in compliance with the tax law. So here is the tax rate for individual income tax. You can see there's 7 levels of tax rate for different income. So I will not give too much details in this part. There's just a simple examples here. Let's say if you earn 10,000 per month, if you're expatriate, then your individual income tax will be around 500 RMB per month. It is about 5% of your salary income. Then if you earn 15,000 per month, then the tax will be around 10,000 RMB, which equals to 22% of your gross salary income. So this is generally the income, the individual income tax status. So let's move to the third part, the most important part when you do business in China, because when you have any business transactions, you will see those taxes, which are the turnover taxes. The turnover taxes includes value-added tax, business tax, and consumption tax. Value-added tax is payable on business transactions of selling goods and repairing services. Business tax is payable when you provide services, and consumption tax is payable when you sell some luxury goods and special goods controlled by the governments, like tobacco, like alcohol drinks, like jewelries, vehicles, fuel, all things. All the turnover taxes are required to report every month. So the special notice, the important thing you should know is, even you have a zero tax, you should report every month. In the China tax system, there is a zero tax filing concept. So make sure you report your tax every month, no matter whether there is a figure on the tax report. So besides these turnover taxes, you will find there are many other taxes in China tax system. Not all the taxes you will see in your daily businesses. I would only introduce those taxes you will see every month. So first of all, the profit repatriation tax, 10%. When you have a WFI in China, you also, when you make money, you would like to repatriate all the profit back to India. So in this case, you need to pay an extra 10% repatriation tax. So bear in mind that your corporate income tax rate is not only 25%, but also an extra 10% for profit repatriation. And the second one is the urban maintenance and the contribution tax. This tax is calculated based on the turnover tax payables, which means it is based on your VAT payables and business tax payable and consumption tax payable. The tax rate is 7% in major cities, 5% in towns and countries, and 1% in other places like a village, like industry parks. This is also an indication on which part you should select to set up your business in China, because if you're going to pay 7% of this tax, then which means you set up your company in advanced city like Shanghai, like Beijing, Nanjing, all the big cities, and lower tax rate because means the constructions, the facilities in those places are not so advanced. So it will help you to see how you want to set up a business. For example, why you want to set up a business in a town or in a village, not only because you pay less construction tax, but also because the salary level in this place is lower than a city like Shanghai. The price of land is lower than Shanghai than other big cities, and the other living costs are also lower. So the third one is the real estate tax. Most of the Wolfie would buy land and build their own working shops in different places. So when you have your own buildings, when you have your own land use rights, then you should know that you also have this real estate tax liabilities every year. So this tax will be calculated based on 1.2% of the cost of the building and the land use rights. A 10 to 30% deduction is available during the calculation, but you need to know that you would have to pay this every year. The third part is the stamp duty. Stamp duty is a small tax based on the contract value, based on your purchase contract and the sales contract. It's quite a small tax, but you should bear in mind that you don't miss it, otherwise there could be a very serious penalty from the tax authority. So these are the major taxes you're going to find when you do business in China. Let's just review all the status of these taxes and make sure you know how to do taxation in China. First of all, you need to do monthly tax filing for foreign taxes, like turnover taxes, like individual income taxes, and the construction taxes. And also, you need to report corporate income tax each quarter. And at the end of each year, you should do an annual audit. And based on annual audit, you need to report your corporate income tax again to the tax authority, which we call the annual tax clearance. So this is the general steps for China taxation. And make sure you know all the taxes you need to pay in China and all the steps you need to follow in order to be compliant with the tax law. Today, the third part will be the introduction on what is happening in China. This is what we call the VAT reform. The VAT reform is transfer from business tax to value-added tax. It is also to unify the largest turnover tax system into one. So the purpose of this VAT reform, first of all, is to reduce the tax burden. I will explain afterwards, and also to encourage the the service industry. Why I say that? Because if you remember what I have said about the VAT and business tax, they are both payable in your business, but VAT is payable for selling goods, and business tax is payable for providing services. So to unify these two systems into one would create a independent large tax system that any enterprises would not need to pay both VAT and business tax during their business. So from resolve these double tax issues, then enterprises could pay less tax and the tax burden will be reduced. So far, Shanghai is the first place which started the pilot, which we call the pilot program from 2012, and they are almost 120,000 service enterprises have entered this program from 2012. It is reported 70% of those enterprises has a less tax burden after implement this tax program. That's why the other cities like Beijing consider to join this VAT refund program now. So experts said that this pilot program will not last for a very long period. The government, which means the government is considered to change the law and change the tax structure for this new tax system. So far, this is the situation, and we would also keep our eyes on this issue, and we'll post the latest information on our website. And thank you very much, and this is my presentation today.